I've played through Dark Souls 3 many times, but I do not remember Yhorm the Giant. My name is Marco, I'm a pro opera singer turned voice actor.
Halfway through our 3-mile walk, I got tired, and you carried me home.
We're gonna be listening to Yhorm the Giant. Every video I put out of Dark Souls, Marco, Yhorm the Giant, Marco, Yhorm the Giant, Marco, Yhorm the Giant. This video better get giant views. That's okay, whatever. Let's listen to it. Yhorm is a protector. Yhorm has a mission to keep us away from something. At this point, it's kind of a meme saying that there is desperation in Dark Souls music. That's like the writing style. How should I write this? Write it depressingly and with full of desperation because everything is shit. Oh, okay. You hear desperation in all of these tracks. You hear forward momentum. I just stopped. Yhorm's job is to not let us pass, which is certainly helpful because Yhorm is actually a giant. And how do you pass a giant? You don't. Not to stop so quickly, but I should add that when we have men like that, a wall of sound like that really makes you feel the size of Yhorm, but also the doubling of the orchestra with the vocals. That increases, if you were in a symphony hall, that would be a wall of sound that would absolutely hit you right in the face. And so it's like a stacked experience rather than harmony, which is a bit more like each part having its own sort of job. When there's a wall of sound and everything is stacked and doubled, and by doubled I mean what you hear in the orchestra is also heard in the vocal line, that creates a feeling of big. And I think that that's intentional too, to give us the feeling that this is literally a towering monstrosity of a thing. Stopping again, but if you listen to the background, you hear the strings. There's a fire element to Yhorm. Of course, I'm looking at a picture and I'm actually starting to maybe remember what Yhorm looks like, but not really. Getting all of them confused because there's so many giants in these games. But is it a fire axe? There's a fire element. You hear that in the music too. You hear pain in the inner voices. There's pain and there's pride in the inner voice of the tenor, which I usually am typically listening for, but the men, they're also stacked in octaves, but there's a bit of harmonic movement there. The bass is very boisterous, very bouncy, very full, and so are the inner voices of the tenors, but the tenors are going, which is very common classical movement, and it really feels like a feeling of pride and a feeling of honor and duty. listen to the instruments underneath. Obviously, this is a boss fight, so we're always going to have a typical forward momentum, especially in strings. It feels really desperate and it feels really intense. Like, oh, we got to keep moving. Sustained rhythm like that. It's not which would also be a different emotional sensation. Instead, it's it's the foundation of everything that comes over it. Having that forward propulsive rhythm allows us to feel like a constant feeling of movement rather than having it shift or change. That would cause a bit more of a feeling of disorientation. If it was more of a spinning sensation, it would be more of like a whirlwind feeling, more of like a torrent rather than this sustained plodding forward momentum, which I think again is to describe the giant like the feet stepping down and whatever. So it's pretty interesting. You hear how right here there's actually a volume change. Increases in volume are interesting. In writing fortes and fortissimo, you have to be tactical about where you put those things because one does get ear fatigue. Now, of course, some of this music is intended to exist in the background while you're fighting, so it's supposed to elicit an emotion of tension and worry and fear and the capacity to lose. It adds the stakes to the game, and it's a certain volume, and then there's a boost, and we go into a new volume, and I think that's intentional because it's supposed to highlight and create even more stress, so that's something really interesting to know. I don't know how often it does that in that pattern, but I heard that and I wanted to stop and point it out. This is a nice shift to but we've never really lost that feeling of doubling up in the strings and in the orchestra and with the vocalism. It's the same. This entire track has been a giant, in this case, literally. It sounds like that was the sopranos were singing the main theme from Dark Souls 3. Also, did you notice that the rhythm pattern changed? Very different from what I said earlier where the rhythm pattern was the same. Now it's that gives us more of a feeling of a slight dance. Oh, oh, that is nice. That's real desperation. When we go down like that, ooh, when you go down, descending, it really gives a feeling of like digging into the dirt and digging into the ground and planting your feet and saying, no, 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 you won't, you won't, you won't. It's really cool. And then we shifted to another thing. That again too. Whoosh, that's really fun musical gestures in the singers. Also, that rhythmic gesture, that feels like having a sword swung at you. It's very cool rhythmic movement as well. This is very rhythmic. Let me check out some gameplay really quick, because I feel like I know Yhorm, but for whatever reason I can't remember it, so let me just see. Oh yeah, Yhorm the Giant. He's one of the ones that Yhorm has the is one of the souls you need, right? He's the thing. You need the thing, and I don't remember this fight being especially hard, though. Yeah, that was really fun to listen to. Thanks for reminding me about this piece. Man, I really gotta go back and play Dark Souls 3 again. I love Dark Souls 3 so much. As always, if you like this sort of stuff, there's a lot more FromSoft on the channel. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to check out the links in the About section if you want to support the channel. There's never any pressure for that, of course. And yeah, thanks a ton, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.